should be good.
Awesome. Hey, hey. How's it going? Nice to see you. How's your fine Tuesday morning going? Is it okay if I just call you Dino? Try to be more in frame here. Move my stuff around. This should help. Doing good? Good to hear. You working on anything? Oh, what's today's project? I'm trying to finish up the veteran guardsman out of the kill team box. This is a commission that I took on. Started working on these about a week ago. I think I'm going into my second week working on it right now. Which I really was hoping to be done with these guardsmen earlier than I thought I was going to, or where I'm at right now. But work was just a little bit too crazy last week. But I'm hoping with just doing a couple hours here and there, I can get these to where I am comfortable giving these back to their proper owners. But then I have a whole nother half of the box I have to do. Which again is fine. Should be a little bit these are fun, don't get me wrong. But from what I've heard of people who paint up orcs for kill teams and 40k, they're pretty fun to work with. So have you been working on anything, Dino? Nice. I haven't done much Gunpla. I do have a friend that has been starting to dabble in Gunpla. They look really cool. Is this your first model, or have you um done other ones in the past? There we go. Should be better. Can actually see over my mic this time. Oh, cool. Which one was most memorable to you? Or which is your favorite model? But I can understand if each one of them has their own special story to them. Make it hard to pick. Nice. Usually I attach it with a little bit, just a very small amount of super glue. And then when I am ready to take it off the cork, I will use a very sharp X-Acto blade and just go directly underneath where I glued it at. Um, Gluing them in multiple points, it keeps it stronger on the cork, but it makes it really hard to take off. So I think on this guy in particular, I think I only pinned him on one spot, and I think it was his foot here. So I'll just slide the blade just underneath his foot, and then I will scrape off the remaining excess cork that was attached to his foot, or just gently sand it with a little bit of sanding paper. The problem with sanding paper is that you will take off some of the side of the paint. So I usually just try to scrape it off with a knife. very gently. Because most of the things that you're going to see that are attaching to the base itself, you're not going to see. But things off to the side of the model, you will see. So you might need to touch it up before attaching it to the base. Painting some more Krieg. I have I haven't had very much success with it, but I also haven't dabbled too far into it. I've heard wonderful things about museum putty. Um I just have not gotten around to actually using it yet. But I have tried using things like Poster Tack before. And the 3M command strips. Uh I've tried using the command strips before, and it does not like primer very well, so it popped the model off right away. But also the big thing for me is it all also depends on the model I'm working on. Um, Smaller models like this, I tend to uh, like having it on a cork like this. Other times I will actually glue the model straight onto the base and just use it like that. But since this is a commission, I figured that having a little bit more handability would be good in this sense to get more of those details. But I am always down to try something new. I watch a lot of I say a lot of different YouTubers, but I my list of it is ever growing of watching certain YouTubers. Ones that I tend to watch the most are Miniac, Ninjon, Squidmar, um, Zucamo, I think is what his name is. How many minis have I painted or built? It's a hard question. The most experience I've had with miniatures is actually painting up D&D WizKids models. Um, but I've grown a little bit into Warhammer. Um, I really like fantasy Warhammer. But I think I've probably painted about probably 50 to 60 models. I'm fairly new into the hobby. I started back in I believe end of 20 or probably before right at the beginning of 2019. So I'm really new into the hobby. But I do enjoy painting. I've always loved art stuff. Um and trying new mediums. Kind of thank my grandmother for that, for getting me into just in general art stuff. I do thank my friend Chris for getting me into the miniature painting hobby. But in general, art stuff and inspiring me to actually paint and stuff like that, I thank my grandmother for. And please, if you guys ever have questions too, I am more than happy to answer. Do I have a preferred paint? I've been using a lot of Procryl recently. It tends to have the right viscosity that I like to use. I started out with Army Painter, and I know a lot about how Army Painter works. So I do flip flop between the two. Um, I do have a few Citadel paints. They're not too bad. But I probably have the least amount of experience with that. And I have tried a couple of Vallejo paints. Those are also pretty good. Um, but I do enjoy Procryl. That's kind of the paint that I choose to use nowadays. But to get started into the miniature painting hobby, I do suggest using Army Painter. They also tend to listen to their fan base. They actually just posted a video on their YouTube about how they strive to get better, and they listen to their fan base to see what needs to be done and what needs to be fixed. So they've been working on that. They're very adamant and passionate about what they do at Army Painters, so I appreciate that. So my question for you guys, what has attracted you guys to come to the Forge? For me, it's the guys in the atmosphere. Thanks, Dino. Thanks for joining in. Hope to see you soon. Keep working on them Gundam models. Sounds like Mr. Alex Hunt is here. He's just in the other room. Painting Mordkrieg. Um, try to get this painted correctly to the way I want it to be. I did all the burn marks last night. Been working on these models. I try to do 4 hours in the morning and then 4 hours when I get home from work. Sometimes the 4 hours in the evenings tend to be about 2 hours because I'm just tired, but also my hand tends to get a little funky at 2 o'clock in the morning from painting. Now it's time to get funky. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like I said, hoping to have a lot of these done next couple days. Because I'd really like to try my hand at some works. Get something a little different going. Okay, so that one's good. Try to hop over to this guy. Right now I'm mixing coal black with bright warm gray to create kind of a darker. I don't want it to be black. I want it to be a dark gray. And then I'm trying to get the boxes around the chest area, the ventilation from the mast to the ventilator, and then any of the guns. I'm trying to get to have this dark gray, so that way I don't have to come back and work on it. I'm also trying my best not to cover up all my work with the bronze that I did last night. In hindsight, I should have probably did the bronze last. But, it's called a learning experience for a reason, I guess. Worst comes to worst, I can always touch them up again. And it looks like I missed some bronze anyways in some of these places, so I'm going to have to come back and do some bronze anyways. So it's all good. Okay. I know that when Mr. Alex Hunt joins us, we have some topics that we'd like to talk about. We were discussing a few of them last night. While I was working on these models.
This weird sensation that someone spoke my name.
The Alex Hunt.
I'm gonna lower this, Kelsey, because I can't see your head in the other camera.
No, you're blocked. Everybody knows it's Kelsey. But
Yes.
no one needs to know.
Mr. Burt. Hello.
Hello.
Shalom.
I
Well-
go to this bathroom and then
Oh,
be here.
I'm gonna.
I think I saw Neil on the stream today.
Nice.
Right?
I believe so. So what have you been working on over there? I see that you have some paint stuff set up over there.
Oh, actually, I can show stream this one.
Yeah.
Put that on there. Just finished this guy up for my kill team.
Nice.
Doesn't look too bad.
Duclaw.
Here's this too to give you a little bit of light.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. It looks really cool. I like how you did the pour on the one side, the bubbly green stuff.
Yeah, I tried to. I like resin. Oh, this thing's just gonna give you a seizure. So. Wait, you have your computer?
I do have my computer.
Can you plug this into one of your USBs on your computer?
I only have one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right.
If I knew I needed more, I would have brought my extender.
Extendo. Yeah, I got more lights and stuff back here, but just nothing's hooked up yet. So.
That's all good. It's looking great.
Yeah, it's getting there. At least all the wires are up.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
besides this camera.
we'll get there.
Yeah, someday we'll be good.
Maybe someday. No, don't cover the bronze. I remember this song. There's some jams going out in the front here. Good song mix today. I did not do the metal bit on this mask. I will have to come back and do that too. So how's everybody doing? Mixing a bit of that dark gray in with a little bit more bright warm gray to get a lighter gray. Adding it in. What's up? Fun. Just getting some spots brightened up here.
You didn't hear me say that, did you?
I can't promise the stream didn't.
It was a joke.
I know.
What?
I promise it's a joke.
I bought these cameras, these 2 other Luminex cameras, and they both come with memory cards.
Oh,
They're
sick.
2 gig memory cards.
Nice.
Do you want to buy memory cards? Like, no, I don't want to buy a memory card.
Why would I ever do that? All right. I almost am debating. I do like the gray, but I don't think I want to put the gray on the sword. I might actually go with I have a dark green, that I might do a light color over top of that to give a little bit of a differential. I still do want to add some gray onto this. I missed some more silver there. Good to know. This model has a lot of silver that's missing on it. I'll have to come back and tackle that. Always be a stranger.
Whoa. You listen to what I say?
Maybe.
Scary.
You're scary. So what are we assembling today?
Because I have a problem, I actually took on a commission to build and paint the Heart of Gur Warcry box set.
Oh, cool.
And here, and there's a ton of stuff, but I feel really short. The idea is that it's going to be given away as charity, or for the extra life, or for Extra Life at a charity event up in St. Cloud.
Oh, fun.
And so I'm hopefully gonna. I need to get it done before like November, sometime in November. So.
Okay.
But it should be cool. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that to be able to.
Got Liam's
I'm
bike
really.
there.
I'm trying.
I know you are. I'm not judging. Do you want the chair that's over on this side?
No, it's fine.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm gonna move this.
Get the bike.
I'm good. We're good.
Hey, success.
Who do we got with us today? Painting with.
Let's take a look here.
New phone. Who dis?
We have a couple other people. Let's see if I can move my computer here. It's not hooked up to anything yet.
Oh, I can. Hefty Alienware.
Yeah.
There you go. It's Peeps. See, the viewers never works, but we got 3 people watching. You were one of them.
Yes.
I think Bert's the other one. So we have one lone person that's just
Chilling out with us.
Chilling with the villains. It's probably Liam.
Sneaking in to grab my laptop.
I didn't break your bike, I promise.
It doesn't need the brake lines, right?
No, never.
No, yeah,
You should be fine.
You,
You should be fine. Yeah.
You can get through
Pedal
that.
backwards.
Yeah, so that's my computer.
This is a computer.
It is a
It
computer.
is a computer. She's a hefty thing.
Yes.
Hefty boy. Oh yeah, so this is Bert's.
Yes.
It's actually pretty solid.
I thought so too.
I know that everyone was kind of giving him shit for it, but this actually looks really good.
Well, and it's one of those things. Painting models tend to they always look better in person.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
you can judge all you want over on the interwebs. But
Oh yeah. Ooh, I am loud. I'm so loud. Anyway, yeah, and it's always like, and that's what we were saying at the last Dwarven Axe was you know, there's some things that you're doing for competition, and then there's just, I want to get this on the table so I can play it.
Right.
And doing it where it's like it's all on the table and I just want to play it is I don't want to say more important, but just it's a different viewpoint on what you're trying to accomplish. Because you don't want to just you know, you can't paint to competition level all the time, especially if you're trying to quickly get an army out so you can play it with friends or something like that, you know?
right.
So, I don't think there's anything wrong with that kind of mentality towards painting.
So I know we talked about this last night.
Okay.
I'm curious to know if you did the thing, won the points.
What?
I brought the first models I ever painted.
Oh yeah, so I don't actually have my first ever model that I ever painted, sadly, because get all this stuff. I'm trying to get things out. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
I actually don't need these for go away. I don't actually have the first model that I actually painted anymore. I think it's lost to the sands of time. I think it either ended up in a sale or a donation or something. Anyway, it ended up somewhere.
That's fair. These are mine.
Okay.
So they're WizKids models. They're the
Yay.
package from of female paladins, and I was hoping to possibly use it for my D&D group. But
Yeah.
I had a Hero Forge mini that I ended up buying, and my friend painted it for me. My friend Chris.
Yeah, Chris, long time listener.
Yep.
Long time viewer of the show.
Yes. But here, I'll let you
All right.
take a look at them. They're not great. Not proud
Well, I
of
mean,
them.
they're first models. You have
But
to
they-
start somewhere. Look at this
Exactly.
mold line. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
No, and I have a bunch of D&D minis at home that, you know, painted or the person that I used to view as like the best painter that I knew, and they're, you know, he was a good painter, but just classically done. See, you discovered washes, I see.
Yes.
So instant points for washes, because who doesn't love a good wash over a model? I mean, these actually look pretty decent, especially for D&D characters. If
Right.
you just toss them on the table, they're gonna look awesome.
But I also brought kind of the evolution of my paint schemes. This was the first model that I ever entered into a painting competition, not the Dwarven Axe,
I was
but
gonna say I haven't seen this one. The crazy eyes.
yeah.
The crazy eyes.
Now he didn't win anything. He got second in fan voted.
Okay.
I told the story to Bert about the fan voted one, and he was quite angry for me that I lost to this person. It looked
Why?
like they just went splatter painted everywhere. The problem is that the fan favorite vote was over Facebook.
Yeah, fan favorites are difficult. I have a whole thing on this. Is really cool actually. So
I did have a lot of fun with it.
I really do like it. It's a you can tell that between the two, you've definitely in this evolved towards your more cell shade style that you've kind of worked towards, or what I would say that you've started to perfect. And this is a good iteration on like the beginning of that process. It's not a bad model at all. A little more definition in areas, and I think that if you just tightened this up a bit, it would be a really good model.
Right.
You know, for entering into competition. But so before story times and all that kind of stuff. I do have
Oh boy.
the first model that I was like, I'll never get better than this. This is my perfected model that I can never do better. You know, that is this amazing thing. This was the Avatar of Cain that I painted many, many years ago. And I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna do better than this.
It's so good though.
It's a solid model. I didn't base it.
Well,
You know.
it's a thing when you paint to like play, or
Yeah.
you're not sometimes not really caring if it has a base to it or not.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So it was a fun model to paint way back when, but that was I specifically remember telling myself, "Yep, yeah, this is it. This is the top. I peaked right here for painting models." And so I keep it on my shelf as like a humbling kind of aspect of like, you can always do better, and
For sure.
you've never done more than, you've never exceeded what you can learn, and so that's why I kept it there. I love that model. I really want to get one of the new Avatar of Cain's and
Paint it up.
paint it up, yeah, and do it justice. But this was, I got this from a friend in like a bin of old models that his friend used to use or something like that.
It's so
So-
cool. I know that's kind of how I feel about Nagash. I know that I've had Nagash basically sub-assembled for a little over a year now, and I do really want to work on it, but there's just other stuff that just keeps getting in the way.
Yeah, well,
But
that's how
I
it
do
goes.
have Fantasy Nagash, and I do have the new Supreme Lord of the Undead Nagash. So
Is that the Fantasy Nagash? That's the classic one.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm opening up the Twitch so I can see the chat.
yes.
Oh, they gotta update the chat or the description from planning committee.
But yes, it is the metal.
Oh, the
metal
metal one that's
model.
like yay big.
Yep, yep. What Fantasy Nagash looks like, what he dreams he is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The Chad. I know that we were going to have at the next Dwarven Axe at the Renegade. We were encouraging or need to encourage people to bring their first model, so that you can have everyone enter in what their first model was. Because I think it's an interesting, like, this is where I started, this is where I am, to get an idea of like watching Duncan Rhodes bust out this crappy looking Marine. Right. Like,
Right.
this is the first model I ever
His
painted.
white
yeah.
Marine, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, but that's interesting. That's fun, because it keeps you understanding that this is a process of learning, rather than it just being, I'm just super good at this.
Right.
Period.
I've just always been good at this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I was absolute trash at this at one point, So
Well, and it's just interesting to see. Like I keep those because I know that I want to make sure that I know where I came from.
Yep.
And then just looking at like either the Nightwalker or even Simba in comparison to that, it's just like, wow, that's a huge jump.
yeah, the jump between models or processes that you've made or time that you've been able to spend, and then realizing, this project took me weeks and months of actual time, and then this one, which is better quality, took me, days and weeks. Just having an understanding of tightening up your ability and your skill level can also be, I wouldn't say humbling, but also show you that you can move forward and understanding how to paint. So it's good to have those reminders
Yes.
out and around. So I always encourage people to try and keep their first model hanging about, just so you can look it over.
No,
Oh,
this is one of the models I have done for the kill team. It's not my best work, but at least it's ready for the table.
Heck yeah! No, this looks good.
I need to try to hide some of that glue bits off that shoe. that's connecting it to the base.
Oh, is that glue?
Yes, that's glue.
Oh, it looked kind of grimy. You know what you could do is you could just do some Uhu glue.
And
So it
I
looks like
do
it's
have some
slime.
with me today.
You could just do slime up,
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I mean, it's pretty easy to hide that. You just paint it gray and go with it.
Well,
Maybe the same colors,
even that with just adding a little bit more to the base. I was talking to my commissioner, and they were wanting some barbed wire.
Mm-hmm.
So even just putting barbed wire near that to look like he's jumping over it would cover that up pretty easy.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it looks good.
Thank you.
I had a long conversation with Zoe in the from the hobby channel, and she entered in a bunch of the custode stuff in the sisters this last event, and she was approached to start doing some commission work, and so she was asking me all sorts of questions about, like, okay, how do I do this, how do I do that, and questions about pricing and that kind of stuff. And I went into a whole big involved conversation with her on commission painting and some tips and tricks and advice and classics, or classic information that I had to learn the hard way. And sometimes you just don't realize how in depth it can go.
Right.
Yeah, it's like never leave it ambiguous. Always ask, always give feedback. So, and especially if you're the if you are the client, giving exact information as much as possible. Don't have everything like nailed down in stone, but you want to have like I want this thing, this palette of color with this information,
right.
They're here kind of questions answered is important.
I totally agree. If you have a painting scheme in mind that you want, please state it.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of her questions were relating to, how long. The big questions that I always ask is, what's the quality that you're looking for? How long do I have to complete the project? And it's basically, how good's the quality? How much time do I have? And that there was one more. I had one more in a thought because it was important. See, I'm gonna shoot myself just because it's like remember what it was. Amount of models and units. What quality do you need them to be done by, or what quality do you need them at? Time frame of that, and then like, do you need a display board as well? And all those questions are really fundamental to miniature like commission painting, because you have to figure out, okay, do I have enough time to do this?
Right.
And I always stick to the adage of under promise and over deliver. So make sure that you are, if you're gonna do something, do it well and execute above what you say. Because that'll have people coming back for more, typically, without much effort. So, but that's
Right.
me.
So, and it's also another different type of learning experience for being in the hobby.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's a very different arena to try and figure out what you're turning your hobby into a business, and that can come with all sorts of baggage and good and bad things to it as well. So,
That was something that I kind of learned last week was we were 2 people short of my actual job.
mm-hmm.
And so I had to go into work at 2 instead of 2:30,
Mhm.
and you wouldn't think that half hour would make such a difference, but then I also calculated, because it was also a pay period ending on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
I did 10 extra hours of overtime
Oof.
at work during this last pay period. So that's 10 hours that I could have been working on these, and I wasn't.
Well, and time frame is everything when it comes to, okay, do you need it for an event? Do you need it for a tournament? Do you need it for some game that's coming up? You know, and trying to figure all that out.
Right.
That's the difficult portion where you as the artist need to schedule your time around it. Which again can be quite difficult. So, because you know life happens, and you don't always get to be able to do the painting and the hobbying that you want when you want to.
You can't always get what you want.
Exactly. But
I am happy with where these guys are currently. I
heck
just
yeah, I would
was
be too.
hoping that I'd be on Orcs now, but it'll get there.
Again, it's one of those like what you know, expectations, your own expectations versus deadline kind of thing too.
Right.
Playing out the best you can. But oh yeah, didn't make us drop off the models for a month.
I could be very
That
wrong.
guy. I was hoping to pick mine up today. I knew I mentioned that the staff is quite small.
Yeah.
It's quite thin. Sure, like last time, it'll be like everybody looking at it going, holy crap, this thing's tiny. Wonder if we should have them scale it up to like 32 mil instead of 28 mil.
Might not be a bad idea, and that might bring more people in.
Yeah, maybe so. You can probably hear Minkus screaming as he's coming to murder me for stating such a thing.
You never know.
I haven't seen anyone in chat. No one sent anything.
Gotta chat, people.
Man, everybody's working. Everybody's working hard.
I get that.
It's a Tuesday. You know?
Yes. On a Tuesday. To be fair, I could chat in here too.
Lol. Kick W's and make lols.
Great question you asked
question.
there, My
It's-
Socks for You.
Wow, it's so in depth. What a thinker. I've been enjoying the process of. I've mostly been cleaning these things, but I've got the two war bands built at home, and so I'm just putting together the terrain. I've been looking at videos to try and figure out what the best way that I want to paint them is for, like, you know, a mix of good quality for speed and also to make them look cool, because I'm just gonna kind of stick to the box art for the most part.
Yeah.
And go from there, and I'm trying to figure out the best method to paint them. I briefly like skipped over and looked through a video from Richard Gray,
Okay.
and he's a very amazing painter. Rob Seeley has learned a lot, and he's mentioned that he's learned a lot from Richard Gray, or I'm sorry, Richard Gray learned a lot from him, apparently, supposedly, as the myth goes. But he does a really good job of doing like that painterly sketch line artwork that Rob is really good at. In any case, he did one where he basically put everything down as like highlights, very bright, and then he used a contrast paint as a wash, and then just boosted all the contrast up, and I was like, that's freaking wild, man.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
I think that's really cool too. I think in regular like painting, you do that kind of stuff on occasion too. So it's stuff that I do know about that I just haven't gotten around to actually adding into the actual miniature painting hobby yet. But that seems like it would work really, really nice.
It does. It feels like it takes a lot of the time off of your plate to try and like, okay, I'm gonna blend this up and make it look this amazing level, have this mid-tone, and then I'm gonna raise it up to this, and then I'm gonna find the high or the low light so I can put that in there. It just skips a bunch of steps, and lets them focus on the details. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or if I'm gonna do my normal like grim dark grime kind of paint job or whatever, but we'll see. I'm still feeling through it,
Yeah.
seeing what I'm wanting to do. But I watched a video from not just Mecha, Marco Frizzoli or whatever. Whatever. He does a bunch of really good classical paint styles on models using oils and really interesting techniques. I love his channel because he just approaches it from a very different point of view than a lot of other people that I've seen. He did most of the terrain from this in Rattlecan, and then applied a bunch of oil washes to it, and then blended them through with white spirits and makeup brushes. No, it wasn't even makeup brushes. It was just a rag, just white spirits in a rag, and he's just going through and just slapping it down, and it worked really well. But that was 99% of his work, and then he did some highlighting stuff and whatnot. But I thought it was really interesting to slap down some really quick paint onto terrain.
For sure.
I'm gonna go and poke at Liam. If they're not watching, to update the. Unless they did.
Oh. Early Tuesday morning.
Gotta get that the caffeine going.
Haven't quite gotten there yet. Setting up, and then Bert was just like, "Oh, you're live, by the way." Okay.
Yeah, well, that sounds about right.
But I'm glad the stream started up just fine.
Yep,
No
no hiccups.
There's no hiccups.
No, definitely.
It's been great. Good job, guys. So one of these models has a book open, so I am going to mix up the mix that I was using last night to finish getting the saturation up on that bit, which I've been using khaki and a little mix of bright warm gray to kind of get more of that paper color. Chick.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Change the stream name.
I see that.
Ray, go us.
I need to.
I'm a special
plug in
guest.
my computer.
Oh, where's your ding?
Today.
I mean, I could pop mine out. That's fair. That's fair. What do you? What's your caffeinated beverage of choice today? Ooh, there you go, classic. Classic. Not purple drink. Purple plus water plus sugar.
Wild.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The Crystal Light ones are good. You man.
Uh-oh. We have a very angry smaller
Sam.
Sam. in
Why am I not
chat.
seeing this chat? Oh, there it is. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
You were invited last week when we told you that we were doing this week. It was in fact what happened.
And you got angry
Mhm.
that you weren't invited last time.
Yep. And so we invited you, and then
And you were just like, but I have work.
yeah. And then we said that we were doing it this week too, and you were like,
Don't say that we didn't invite you.
I'm going to fight this to the bitter end. Yes, I do. I in fact do expect you to remember something like that
Another thing
when
I
your friends talk to you about wanting to do things with you, and then you just ignore us.
my schedule. Well,
What's that schedule? You haven't told us what that schedule is. Get out of here.
you know, you just have to come into the forge
Oof.
and have a discussion with us.
She does live fairly far north, so.
I agree. I know.
But then again, so do I. So. Yeah.
You know the rules. So do I.
We just get. Did you just rickroll channel?
So far.
Yeah, but we're here. You'll know it. We're here. You'll know it. You're not. Sorry. I'm gonna get smacked, and it'll be completely justified.
Come to my house.
We'll stream from your place, okay?
We'll come here at ridiculous o'clock in the morning, pick up everything, and come to your house.
Yep, it'll be fun.
Sounds good. So I did bring
Put on the pot of coffee.
I did bring a couple of things that we were talking about last time, and it was the FER miniatures. that I was
Yeah,
telling you
yeah.
about.
I'm interested in wanting to see them because I'm like, do I buy one?
So this is the George Washington model that I'm currently working on for my brother for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Holy crap!
yeah.
This freaking model, man. Wow. That's a beautiful skull.
It is beautiful.
Holy crap. How much cleaning did you have to do on it?
Not hardly any.
Dang. Just damn. That's amazing.
He did take the mini off camera.
I'm putting it back on camera. Sorry. It's not really a mini. It's see, this is the scale that I enjoy.
It's a 75, I believe.
Yeah. Bag it up then. Yeah, it just takes forever for it to update. Come on. There we go. Yeah, this is an amazing model. The detail on this thing is incredible. Jeez.
Thomas Jefferson. No, this
You should have said
is
Thomas Paine. It would have been really funny.
And this model I am working on for my sister-in-law. I haven't gotten very far on it other than assembling it.
Is that the Rosie Riveter?
It is the Rosie the Riveter.
Ah, sweet. That's awesome.
I did have to do a little bit of epoxy sculpt. Not very much. The little string attachment that's separate, and it didn't want to stick to the actual like nail gun.
Oh yeah.
So I had to put a little bit of
green stuff on it.
Just to make it attach.
Yeah, it's typically how it goes.
Here, I'll let you.
Hold on, I got glue.
Ooh.
Shoot, how's it go?
But it is a very beautiful bust.
Whiskey. It is. I love that model. All the FER stuff, when I was looking, I'm like, geez, I need to come here more often to shop because
You're welcome.
yeah, it's a problem. Oh, this month's Loot Studios is werewolf Curse of Strahd. Sorry, I'm trying to get the glue down. Like Curse of Strahd, Vampire Nosferatu, that kind of thing. This is a sweet model.
I only hope I can give these two models justice. But
I'm sure you will.
I just know that it's one of those things where I'm never gonna know until I actually do it.
Textures are everything, especially on this Rosie the Riveter model. Ugh. Just the detail on
It
the, on the,
it
on the
already
shirt.
has a ton of detail on it, just as the model itself.
Yeah. I love it. You can put a lot of love into that face.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
So that's what came into that box that I had last week. And which is funny because now I transferred those models into Unsullied Pikeman box from Song of Ice and Fire.
Nah, that's fine.
But I figured it was an empty box that I had, and all I really had to do was just put some paper towels in there, and it fell from me carrying stuff upside down, and nothing broke.
You should probably not drop things.
I don't
You know?
mean to drop
I mean,
things.
that's just an FYI. I feel sometimes whenever I'm assembling these models, I'm like, I feel like I'm a 2-year-old trying to
Putting
figure out
Lego pieces together.
putting two bricks. How do I do this? It's like,
Have you ever seen the video of
There we go.
somebody with it's a really child's toy, and it's the bucket which has the different shapes, and they're just like,
okay,
What?
you can put it in the
it's, they get the shape and they
Yep.
put it into the square
Yep.
hole.
Yep, because the square hole accepts all of them.
Yeah.
Someone posted it as a how QA and developers feel when people get a hold of their app. And it's like, no, yeah, all right, cool. You put it in the right thing. Awesome. No, and I'm gonna take this and then put it in the hole. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that.
Put it in the square hole.
What am I not supposed to talk about? Putting things together as a 2-year-old? Is that what I'm not supposed to talk about? I missed that.
Kid dropping things.
Oh yeah. Hey, this is how our friendship started. Okay.
Cherish our friendship.
For the record, I fixed it and owned it immediately, and I felt horrible.
Horrible.
I was like repenting in sack and ashes, and she was like, "Lol, cool." I was like, "I'm so sorry.
Laughed
I
so
broke
hard.
it." And that's when we became best friends. That's how it happened. Totes.
I have a feeling I know what the next thing's gonna be said, but we'll see.
Oh God.
I might be wrong.
If I would have said friends, she would have said, I thought we were best friends. And if I said best friends, then she would say that we're just friends.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Close acquaintances.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
What? Sam? She would never.
I think you don't know Sam. So yesterday
Uh-oh.
was Custodian Appreciation Day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And my
Nice.
the principal at my building actually cooked us food
Wow.
and brought it in. So that was super nice of her.
When it's Sysadmin Appreciation Day, I just get shit on by the company because that's how it goes.
Oh goodness.
She didn't comment on any of the friendship stuff. She just went right to asking if you got cookies.
I did get cookies.
Nice. That's how you do it. Do your job, get cookies.
It was pulled beef
Okay.
and garlic mashed potatoes.
Ooh, yeah. Now we're talking.
And apples, and we got like buns and cookies.
Heck yeah. That's solid. You got.
I'm
Wow. Well then.
I'm friends with Kelsey, best friends with
Oh,
Alex.
see, that's.
Is that what it is?
I'm sure.
Is that how it is?
I doubt it. Solid acquaintances. We shake hands from time to time.
We talk occasionally.
Yeah. Touch the hem of his cloak once.
Did you actually get to go to the great and wonderful Renaissance Fair this past weekend?
Are you talking to her or talking to me?
Both.
No, I did not.
Sad.
It was actually a quiet weekend. I got a bunch of painting stuff done. So
That's okay.
it was a once in a lifetime opportunity to actually get some stuff done. So I'm literally the worst.
Went on the last day. Nice.
Nice.
Find any good sales at all? Usually they have some sales going on the
On the
last
last
day.
day. Got it. I'll have to try and make a point to make it next year.
No.
Sounds lame.
To be fair, there's usually a lot of stuff that's sold out too early. Understandable.
I have, speaking of Renfest and mead and all that kind of jazz, I need to actually try and make mead at some point.
Yes.
So I actually got done with my homebrew beer, and it turned out really, really good. So I was very pleased, pleasantly surprised. But mead takes like 6-8 months to fully
Ferment.
well, age, because fermentation takes like a week, 2 weeks. It doesn't take that long to actually ferment, but it needs to age and actually sit and like think about what it's done.
Punished. Properly punished.
Probably punished. So, you know, oddly enough, last year we did all the voodoos. Why are we not doing the voodoos this year? It hasn't been a stream thing, I guess.
I'm actually not a big fan of this movie, but I also wasn't a big fan of the last week either.
How could you?
It's too much sugar. It's too sugary.
You're drinking a Pepsi.
It's not as sugary.
Not as sugary. That's fair. How do I build models?
How do the voodoo?
I'll do the voodoo. The voodoo.
Voodoo.
You know what, Sam? You could be here right now, and not at work or whatever lame thing that you're doing right now.
Waking up.
Yeah, you could be here, hanging out with us, painting, or harassing us while we paint, because we all know that's how it turned out.
I think my boss would appreciate that.
Yeah, they don't gotta know. I mean, if you don't tell them that you're streaming on Twitch, just don't tell them you're streaming on Twitch. You're the nicest for sure. I would say that Sam's pretty nice
I agree.
for the most part, which feels like it sometimes. I get it.
Could you imagine? We do have for if if Sam were to join us, which I do think you should
do agree.
bring her boat. And she would have to have like that whole other half of the table just for the boat.
Just for the boat. Yo ho, yo ho.
Pirate's life for me.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited to see that boat done. I
Yeah.
hope you've been getting some work done on it.
It's such a huge model, and she's like, I don't want to do airbrush. I'm gonna do this the hard way. She's not even gonna do rattle can on it. She's just painting it with a huge brush. And I'm like, holy crap. You wouldn't work on any of the Reaper mini, just the boat.
She's gotta get the boat ready for next ReaperCon.
Good lord. The fact that she crushed it with the fact that she crushed getting what place was it? Was it first? Or was it third?
Well, I'll let her say that.
I was gonna say, but the fact that you won the with the doctor, third, yeah, the doctor was incredible. So I'm super glad that it came through with this, with an award coming out of ReaperCon. So. She's a higher award winner than me because I haven't walked away from most of my stuff's like from tournaments and whatever, not actual people. Oh, okay. I'd still take that and run with it. You're a commissioned painter, yo. Or not a commissioned painter. She's a professional award-winning
She is
painter.
an award-winning painter.
Put that on a sign.
Need a poke bird about the plank of wood.
You still haven't gotten your plank of wood?
Nope.
Oh no. Bert, what the heck, man?
It's okay. It's not a high priority. I know I did the thing. I did.
You got the thing.
I won the points.
You got the points. Yep. The accolades.
Got bronze.
Got bronze, okay. At first I read that as like, you only compete against yourself, so I competed against myself and I got bronze. And I'm like, jeez.
Okay. Is it really that early?
You did worse than you historically have. It's like, oof.
I would just look at my first model and then I'd look at the model that I just painted and be like, really?
Bring up those WizKids models.
Bring those WizKids models out. Are you sure about that?
I really do want to put out the call for at Renegade, like we discussed at the last Dwarven Axe, which was bring your first model to the to the next Dwarven Axe event, and then everyone can see like just a showcase of the first models. I think it's a very humbling experience. It gives you that sense of, okay, I'm on my journey of being a miniature painter rather than this person that's gloriously amazing at it.
That's kind of one thing when people are just like, I'll never get that good, and I'm like, you understand that I didn't get this good overnight, right? Nice.
That's the mentality you should have. You should be proud of your work, no matter what, because you learn something along the way, and learning's the half the battle.
You want to see mine, Sam?
It's pretty incredible.
It's a WizKids model. Trying to get it to be not fuzzy.
Yep, there you go.
No basing like yours.
Yep, exactly.
But
exactly. Don't need no base.
don't need no base.
It's only an unfinished model.
But I also just love, I do have this up on a shelf, along with all my other models that I've painted that I haven't gifted. But it is fun to go back up there and look and see the progression of how all these models have come from.
Yep. You gotta learn things along the way.
Sure.
What do you want? Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we had a conversation in one of the hobby channels a while back, which was about the basing, and it's like, if you're not, unless you're going to some event that requires basing or you're entering into a competition, you really don't need a base. You know, it's whatever the model's there for. I don't think you should get hung up on doing everything possible to make a display level quality model for something that doesn't need that level. You know?
Or if you're Critical Role. But even then, I noticed I've been watching Critical Role, quote unquote, while I've been working on these guys, trying to catch up. And it looks like they're not even basing their models anymore. No. They used to.
Well, and a lot of it too is, for them it looks, it's part of the look and feel of their thing, but it's an extra step.
Right.
And sometimes you just got to get a model done so that you can get it onto the table, especially for D&D, because that doesn't need to be based. Most of the time we're playing with, my group is playing with plastic or cardboard printouts of whatever it is instead of an actual model. Reaper does a thing where you paint a model at the beginning of the year, and then you paint the same model at the end of the year. See how you... That's really cool. I like that.
Funny enough, I actually did end up finding the same package that those human-female paladins. And I bought another package of them. So I'm just waiting for the moment to do that exact same thing.
That's actually an interesting thing. Maybe we should do that here. For Dwarven Axe or something, is have the progression of a year.
Well, if the monthly ends up landing on a paint,
I mean, we can do whatever we want.
That's true.
We run the thing.
That's true.
It's our oyster.
It's our thing.
It's our thing. Like, we can do that. I don't think it's a bad idea. Like, pick a model, and then paint it up and have it so that you have to do it again at the end of the year, and then that way, but you have to, like, I don't know,
it would have to be like a monthly painting thing where it's just like, instead of doing the monthly, this is what we're doing.
Yep. Which actually isn't a bad idea. Just January and December, you do that. I think that's great. I do in fact run the thing. It's weird, they let me have power with it, so I'm gonna run with it. I wrote the documentation. Skepticals? Ma'am, that's not even a word. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Shh. Please don't leave. You're like our only viewer.
Yeah, pretty much actually.
Yeah.
The other, it'll be the Forge, and then it'll be
and then us
me and you.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. Well, you have, I would say fun, but that's not really fun.
Goodbye, everyone. I'll remember you all in therapy.
I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, Sam. And we love you.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for
appreciate it.
We appreciate you all the time. Even if you don't appreciate us. Say cry. Aww.
Love you too, Sam.
Love you too, Sam.
Don't be a stranger.
So we can scream stranger danger?
Yeah.
That's my purse.
That's my purse.
That's my
I
purse.
don't know
I
you.
don't know you. Bobby Hill, the American hero. Oh, so I don't remember I think last week I was talking about it, but there was a new Phasmophobia update,
Yes, you were talking about this.
and the new Asylum map is the best they've ever done, and it's downright terrifying. And I love every moment of it. It's so good. There's a whole wing that is, when you walk in it, you can have random screams
Oh,
happen
no.
in the background. That's just ambient noise. They moved offices is the quote, so they updated like the lobby. But in the old lobby, there was a little guy hanging in the rafters. That was like one of those optical illusions where it's kind of like it's in, or it's like concave instead of, yeah, so that anytime that you looked at it, it would move. Its eyes would follow you because it's, you know, you're changing position and all that. They apparently took him out, and he's not there in the new lobby, which is a bummer. But apparently he haunts the asylum, not as a ghost, but he just pops up and will scare you and like creep out of a corner and then pop back into the corner as if he's, you know.
I'm not okay with that.
I'm like, what?
You're making me question why I keep updating the game.
I love that game so much. The new Sunny Meadows is phenomenal. It's so good. The ambiance is just phenomenal in that level. It's by far the best map that they've ever made. Just in quality and feel. I walked in, and I've been playing Phasmophobia for close to 200 hours, so I'm fairly desensitized to most of the ghosts. And when I walked in, I was like, I'm uncomfortable. This is great. I'm so uncomfortable.
Now, do you usually play alone or do you play with other people?
I play with other people.
Okay.
So I like to play with other people because if it's just me, I learned that I don't talk, I don't say anything, and I actually play with open mic, so I don't have push to talk on. So I like to have that kind of involvement into the game, but which pisses off yokais like no tomorrow. However, I like to play with other people because I actually don't just not talk while playing. And plus, playing with other people is really fun. There was one time, I don't get easily jumped anymore with the game, but it still surprised me every once in a while. There was a ghost event that like popped up on me, and I only had a video camera on. So I was looking for ghost orbs, and it popped up right on top of me and like walked with me as I walked backwards, and I thought I was dead. I just screamed.
Not okay with that.
My friends were like, "What's wrong? What happened? Are you okay?" I'm like, my heart."
I might not be.
It was funny.
The one biggest BS moment that I had in the game was I was in the school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the room that it was haunting was on the second floor in the one corner. So I had, and it started to attack.
Yep.
So I went and hid into a room. We couldn't find the room. We didn't know where it was at. So I went and hid. I went into the room on the first floor, down in one of the first doors just before you go out. You can go outside.
Yeah.
And I hid in like the farthest back corner I could, and it immediately just blinded to me. And I was just like,
on?
I had nothing on. Light was off.
Could have been was it a banshee?
I don't remember if it was or
Yeah.
not, but it was beelining it for me, and I was just like, "How did you even know I was in here?"
Yeah, banshees hunt one specific person, and they'll ignore all the other people. So if you have a banshee, it will just beeline it to that one person, and you know, kill them. So. And with school, it's notorious for not having any hiding spots, any good hiding spots. But I actually really like prison more than school. I think school is a little too plain as a big map. I really need to get like Bert playing because it popped in as my friend saying, you know, he's played it for the first, or now owns Phasmophobia, and he played it for the first time. I'm like, oh my god, Bert! And he's like, it's It's terrifying. I'm like, gotta take you along for a ride, man. It's gonna be good. Gotta show you the ropes. There it is. Where's this thing?
I was okay with Phasmophobia for a while, and then it got harder, and I was just like, yeah, no, I'm done.
It has actually gotten harder. It's gotten more difficult. So, completely understand. Where the heck does this freaking piece go? Somewhere.
Over the
Somewhere's
window.
yeah, somewhere's right. Come over the eye. Oh,
I
it's not
apologize for not having this on the stream. It's the smallest dot I have to ever make, which is the lens for the
That's
mask.
how it goes.
Well, not the smallest dot. There's some other rivets and stuff in here that are smaller dots, but the dots that really need to be accurate. It's actually probably the best one I've done so far. It's the last one.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Wait, did I put on the wrong side? Oh no. I mean, there's only one way that goes, but I think I've been building on the wrong side. Shoot. Yeah, right. I think I did. That's cool.
A plus. It was Sam.
Definitely Sam.
I can say that because she's not here anymore.
Ah! See, that's how it goes.
Love you, Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shoot.
Got it.
I did it.
Done. Did it.
I done did the thing.
That is the only other downside with using line stoppers is they're not always flat.
See, typically whenever I put them on line corks, I don't glue them directly to the line cork. I do a
Putty.
no. Well, yeah, a putty, but I also either glue them to a base and then putty them to the cork, or I do not toothpicks. Wow, paper clips, and drill a hole in the bottom. Typically. I'm
Well,
not saying it's wrong, but it might be wrong.
I might be wrong.
You might be wrong. Oh, that's how it goes. Okay.
But you may be right.
But
I might be crazy.
have you thought about the fact that who's gonna see this? It's on the inside of a skull. I mean, props to GW for actually having like detailed models, but come on. Sometimes you gotta wonder.
Because there's a hole on the other side.
I suppose, yeah. You and your logic.
I tend to be pretty logical.
It's most illogical.
Not always, but on the rare occasion. Alright, we are going to paint
Because
this.
all things considered, like this, the GW has gotten a lot better with their assembly process on their the models that they have to try and hide seam lines, which I appreciate a lot. And they've made efforts to make it so that it looks good and it feels good whenever you're putting it together. So. Who's here? They said swear words in our good Christian service.
How dare they?
I know, the audacity.
I will have to be late. Yes, no, yes, no, yes. No, yes. Apparently Jim Carrey got really angry at an award ceremony the other day.
That doesn't surprise me. He's kind of turned into a crotchety old man, and I love it. He's a crotchety old man who can say whatever he wants. It's great.
Did you know,
Uh-oh.
fun fact, he didn't start off as a actor. He actually started off as a custodian.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
people thought he was very funny, and then he's like, you should go into try to do movies.
Which is fantastic because he's that I think humbles someone. Hopefully, it's not just the hero origin story kind of thing for PR, but because I think that he's a solid actor and really funny.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, the gap filling. Look at this. The gap filling, and I cleaned it. There's like holes all over the place on this. Oof. This one's egregious. Like the rest of these, you can kind of get away with in the trunks,
Right.
but these are egregious.
Thankfully, with the terrain bits for the kill team, I don't really have to worry too much about it because they're all just one piece.
Yeah. An argument to be made to use plastic cement because I typically don't tell people to use plastic cement because I've never had a good experience with anyone using plastic cement on models because it just melts everything and causes a bunch of issues, and it's just easier to be like, hey, you should just use super glue. There was an argument being made that you should use plastic cement for this kind of stuff specifically because then you can instead of using Milliput to fill lines, to fill gaps, you can use the plastic cement to melt it and then seamlessly make it into a more organic looking thing.
Okay.
Because you can kind of streak it down and it melts it as it's kind of dragging, and then it fills gaps because it's plastic cement. So you don't have all these big big gaps. You just have small little things that you don't have to fill in Milliput.
Which is nice.
Yeah, which is really nice. So I was kind of like, I should probably give it a shot sometime and make sure that I'm not telling people the wrong thing to do. So I don't want to do that.
There was somebody on stream earlier that was asking me what I do to add these to the bases, and I explained to him it was just very light super glue, and then I just have to kind of be very careful when I'm etching out the cork. And then they asked about using putty, and I'm like, I've never had much luck with using putty.
Putty is in like
tack.
Oh, okay. So it's sticking to the actual cork itself. You need to paint the cork first, otherwise it doesn't stick to it. It doesn't have a surface for it to actually stick to. So that's probably why you haven't had much luck with it.
But I also tried using poster tack before too, and it just didn't work very well.
Mm.
So this is just I manhandle my models too much.
That's not manhandling.
I don't like to be manhandled.
You're just touchy-feely with them. Where does this thing go?
Was perusing Twitter this morning, and
It's a dangerous place.
it is, but there was a video clip, and it was Red Dead Redemption, and it was the quote for the tweet was my unemployed friend on a Monday morning, and it's just watching the beautiful sunrise and walking amongst just out in the middle of the wilderness.
That's great.
And I'm just like, okay,
That's super good.
I guess it's kind of like that.
R.I.P. Red Dead Online.
Yeah. Still just the two.
Just the two of us. Yeah.
We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Just the two. Why do I suck so bad at assembling models?
That I cannot explain.
Why am I so bad at this?
So I think we have Ryan, Bert, and Liam up front.
Who?
Sure.
Yeah, Bert, Ryan, and Liam for sure. Yep.
And I know James tends to come in on Tuesdays as well. But I don't know if that's him or not.
James is a good guy.
That he is. He is somebody that I'd like to ask to come in at some point.
Heck yeah. He knows a thing or two about speed painting.
That he does. Hoping maybe he can give me some tips.
Right? All that. Oh, so I was gonna talk about speed painting. Something related to speed painting. Not speed painting. Community judging a model because it was the whole like you were upset that someone beat you out and it didn't look that good and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
Well, so if you can paint to what the community would like to see or something cool that's eye-catching, it's much easier to skew the results on that than it is to have it so that paint quality or technique wins overall. Because at Con of the North, historically, they've had an event called the Long and Short event. And it's a great event run by some fantastic people, and it's a painting event. But it is a community voted, you get a slip, you say what category each, you think each winner is, and then the best overall, and you throw it into the pot. And that's that.
Right.
And you can skew it because like I've won, and this isn't trying to brag, but I've won years in a row of best in show. And it's just entering in a model that looks interesting or cool, but it's not actually like the best quality of whatever. It's not the best quality paint, it's not the best quality thing. It's a cool looking model. And I kept telling them to take winners out of the main competition and then have a like professional category that's judged by judges, so that they don't have the if you win a best in show, cool, now you graduate to the professional categories,
Right.
and so that people can one, compete, but also that they have more of a chance to compete and win against new people rather than just having some super good high quality painter roll in and just
Steal the show.
Steal the show, yeah. Because they have a cool looking model, and it's difficult to do that, and it's actually something that I've tried to make sure that like Dwarven Axe has going on too, is that we don't just cater to the professional painters that are always super good at whatever they do, because they're there, but it's difficult to try and be like, yeah, I want to try and make it so that it's more interesting for other people to win as well. It's just trying to find a balance of that.
For sure.
Sorry to ramble. I just got a lot of feelings. Whoa,
That's tonight's computer night.
that could be a song.
Yeah. Might catch on. We'll see.
Could be interesting. Hooray, a skull!
Hooray!
I did it. Oh my god. Discord. All the Discords.
Oh my god, mashed potatoes.
Here we go. Gershbums.
Well, I know we lightly talked about it on Discord as well. I'm excited that I have my room booked. I have bought my ticket
Oh,
for
heck
Renegade.
yeah.
I am ready to go for Renegade.
You bought your weekend pass?
Yep,
Nice.
$40.
Yep. That's how it be. I'm super excited that you're super excited.
Yes.
Well, and I need to book my room. Actually, did I book my room? I don't remember if I booked my
You
room.
might want to do the thing,
Yeah.
but it looked like the prices were getting cheaper the closer the beta was. So.
Well, I think that if I remember correctly, Renegade has a book deal or whatever they call it, a block deal where you have. I'm dumb.
They've blocked out a certain
Yeah,
amount
yeah,
of
yeah.
rooms.
Yeah, I was trying to concentrate on actually assembling this stupid thing, and I'm like, I can't brain no more. Yeah, they have a block of rooms that they basically reserve for the event, so which makes it easier for people to book and make it out.
Nice, nice.
So I just need to book a room. I've never had an issue with not being able to book a room, so
No, it might be the first.
it might be the first. That's true. I don't want to risk it for that biscuit though. Because the years that I've had to drive home and then drive back has been just, not to mention, being that I'm, helping run events and my wife she's at front desk. It's you got to get there early.
Yeah.
So that's the struggle.
Get up early, stay up late.
Yep. And then you try and make it in the next day and you're like, good Lord. So.
It's kind of how my Monday nights are.
Oh yeah. You just.
Usually I'm painting, and then, or I just can't fall asleep right away.
Mm.
And I wake up early, here,
Ah.
and paint. But it's therapeutic to me, so I love getting up here and painting.
I mean, that's fair. Not to mention, you gotta have some fun with building and painting.
Sure.
Here, come here. Hey, you can't sing those songs here because we might
Copyright.
get copyright.
Yeah. Not like it was fully in tune, but
You're gonna get us banned. Banned on Twitch. They come down on less, so who knows?
with all the Twitch drama that's been going on lately, don't doubt it.
I know pretty much nothing about it, and I'm kind of like, I kind of want to keep it that way.
In this situation, ignorance is bliss.
Again, it's one of those, it's the internet, so is the internet getting angry because it's the internet, or is it actually like worthwhile upsetment about something?
Right. Well, and not to mention, it's not the first time that people have been like, oh, everything's bad. All the streaming is just gonna be is dumb and stop doing it. It's not the first time it's happened.
Nope, and it probably won't be the last either.
Right. So is it like you said? Is it really worth going into it when you know that it's probably just something super superfluous?
Yeah. Now, I have no doubt that it is, in the people's world that it actually affects, it's probably a big deal. But, to the average person, is it really a big deal? But who knows? I might be very wrong and just kind of being a boomer about it.
Yeah, I get you.
That could happen. It's been known to happen
For sure.
in my old age.
I had a discussion with a ninth grader yesterday at my
Uh-oh.
work, and we just got the principal is new to our building. She
Mhm.
just started this year, and she was complaining about how there were new rules since she's been here. And I'm like, well, what rules do you not like? Like asking questions and just getting a vibe from what the student populace thinks is
Unfair.
unfair. And some of the things was just like, oh, well, they're really trying to make sure that we don't go to the bathroom during class. And I'm like, okay, I don't think they're not letting you go to the bathroom during class, but I'm like, as I ended up asking, like, well, can you be more specific? Is it just like you're not allowed to bring stuff with you to go into the bathroom, or and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
she just kind of paused. She's like, well, and I'm like, okay, well, what other rules are you not liking? And it was just like little petty things.
Yeah, well, I mean, those are the.
and
those are
I
the
know,
frustrating
and
things.
at that age, it's a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just kind of, as the adult in the room, I was just trying to explain from my side of the perspective as to why those rules might have been put in place.
Yep.
And I'm like, now take that as a grain of salt. I'm just a custodian. I just clean up after all the kids.
Yeah. Is it frustrating to have like rules changes because of a select few? Yeah. But sometimes it's the headache of trying to do something right versus
Right.
trying to solve the problem quickly.
Well, and another thing that I ended up explaining to her too is like, this is where you take the time to possibly like maybe look into joining student senate.
Yep.
And maybe pushing the issue to the student body and be like, hey, I don't know if everybody likes these rules, and you can try
Mm-hmm.
to maybe make a convincing argument to maybe have the principal reconsider the player's handbook.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm not saying that you're.
Player's handbook or the student handbook?
I call it the player's handbook. But I'm not, and I mentioned to her as well. I'm like, I'm not saying that you're going to get it changed.
Yeah, yeah. But if you want to, here's the steps you can take.
And then she's like, it just sounds like an awful lot of work. And I'm like, well, that's how it usually runs in the real world.
Yep.
So
Yep, it is a lot of work.
if you don't like doing a lot of work right now, then you're gonna for a rude awakening when you get out of school.
Yep. Enjoy the process of school. To go back and be young again.
I know, right? We have 5
Oh
people.
man!
Oh boy, how's
Two of 'em.
everybody doing?
Means there's probably 2 other people that are listening to us yap about whatever. That's awesome.
Yap about my work.
That happens.
I would laugh even more if it was actually people from my work.
Listen, I could yap about my work, but I don't want to put anyone to sleep. Except maybe Minkus. Minkus would understand. Somewhat.
Not like my stuff at my work is very entertaining either, but
Apparently, you're having conversations with the youths,
yeah,
the young peoples.
it seems like these group of 9th graders are actually a good group.
That's good. But ninth grade's about when you start having opinion, like actual adult-like opinions, and can defend your thoughts and stuff like that. Not like you can't before, but just it's when it really starts to become apparent.
Well, and some of the bigger things that she was also discussing was how COVID has like changed the shape of the student body,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was fascinating to listen to.
It's interesting to hear.
And me being the person I am, I kind of like poke and prod just a little bit, just like so.
Enough.
I felt like I was being a psychologist at that point, or I was just sitting there and be like, how does that make you feel? And I'm sure she probably didn't really appreciate that much, but...
Do you believe it has something to do with your childhood?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Start smoking a cigar and writing everything down. It'll be great. Don't worry about it.
Ja?
I always think to the Star Trek: The Next Generation episode where Data's having his wild dreams and he's got Freud just like there's a telephone ringing and he picks it up and you hear Freud's voice going, kills them all.
Oh my god.
It's just so good. Such a wild episode. Because again, that's what I watch while I'm painting, building.
For sure. Unlike right now.
I'm watching a stream on my phone that I'm on. It's very meta.
Weird concept. Front door.
Front door open. Less piddly stuff. All the small things.
All the small things. Always, I know. We'll be at my shop. No, I'm not the one that did it this time.
You spurred me on. It's kind of like Cartman in that when he has to sing "Sail Away" by Styx. It's so good.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Brown?
Brown.
Brown?
Charlie Brown. Dark Umber.
Amusing. Have you watched the new Peanuts movie? It's so good. I was very surprised because it's got this almost 2.5D isometric kind of vibe to it, and for animation because it feels more comic book like. And I wasn't sure what to make of it when I initially had heard about it or seen trailers or whatever, and the movie's really good. It's very funny. They very much so spoke to the spiritual not spiritual nature, but the spiritual like heart of Charlie Brown. So it feels like a Charlie Brown Peanuts comic more than anything. But I love it. It was fun. I'm trying to remember I think the book that he has for like a book report is War and Peace. And he reads the whole thing, writes a book report on War and Peace, and then like the wind catches it and like blows the papers up and off, and he's like, oh, okay, it's just gonna go over there, and then like this like RC plane flies by and just shreds the entire thing as it goes, and it's like it's just
Charlie Brown.
It's Charlie Brown. It's so good. love it.
Okay.
You know what I haven't seen this entire time? Is an ad.
Good.
Finally took them off. Bert can't decide if he wants to monetize everyone or.
I don't know. What do you guys think? That out there in the universe, do you want or ads every few
Ads.
minutes?
Come check out the Forge Patreon if you want to support us. At I think it's patreon.com/theforgemn.
I believe so.
I believe that's right. I don't get a cut from that, so you're only supporting the store.
But the store supports us.
Yeah, that's true. They are the wind beneath our wings. Keep bumping onto this. Hold on, I gotta. How loud is that? Bump into it. Let's see here.
Hope you enjoy this
This
ASMR.
ASMR of me hitting the mic with the frickin' sprue.
So what I am doing right now, for the folks at home, is I'm just trying to do a little bit of edge highlighting on some of this brown. Whoa. Whoa.
Edge highlight.
Yes. Not very good at it, but I am working to make myself better.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yep. So I'm doing a horrible job of actually staying in camera.
It's a skill that I have not come close to perfecting. Because a lot of times I paint up here, and I paint right here to
Right.
do something, or I'm leaning over and I'm doing it like right here, and yeah, the camera is not there. So,
I have been getting a little bit of practice with it. I have a the lamp light that I have at home. It's a big round ring light, but it has a magnifying glass in the middle.
Yeah,
So it's getting me to be better about having something in front of me,
makes sense.
while also just being a comfortable distance away.
That's cool.
So I am practicing. It's just a little bit different when it's a camera.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Camera's also a little bit bulkier than like the thing that you're looking through to paint with. We're totally professional here. That's what it is.
Yep. What? I'm going through all these models that to see if I've missed any edge highlights.
Well,
Since
that's
I'm
good.
already doing it, I might as well do the rest of them.
That's fair. Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
God.
You have to be done at noon today, or what time do you have to
I
be?
don't. I should probably head out around that time though, and take off to get some stuff done at home. However, then I can be back Tuesday.
Yeah, just let me know. Worst comes to worst, I could try to invite Sam.
We invite Sam every time.
I know.
Every time.
Every Tim.
She just doesn't appreciate us. Doesn't appreciate the sacrifice and the love that we give her. Although we need to figure out when we're going to do the next paint-a-thon.
Yes.
Exhausted all over.
Oh god. Flashbacks. Green Inferno.
Every single time that you say Simba, I have to resist the urge to laugh.
I
my
blame
God.
Bert so
my God.
much.
We all blame Bert.
He's just like, hey.
Yeah. Again, we missed some great opportunities to just throw on Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future, Star Wars.
Mhm.
Nope, Green Inferno. What are we doing?
Well, to be fair, everybody else was egging him on to do some crazy movie choices. And he
True.
provided.
Yeah, that's, I don't know that I want that again, but you know.
Well, did we learn?
we certainly did. Certainly did learn.
I was just enjoying my painting. On occasion, was just looking and seeing what was up on this TV screen, and then
Regret it.
that happened.
And I regret every moment of looking at the screen.
I can't believe we skipped 40 minutes of that movie,
Exposition.
and it still didn't matter.
Nope. Sure didn't. Man. Well, next time we'll have to suggest like doing Star Wars.
Yes. Did I miss something?
No. Breathing in monsters bad.
Oh my god. I thought you were doing that because you
No.
read something funny.
No, I wish.
Oh my god. Don't die.
I'm trying not to. Oh man. When they say energy drinks will kill you, I didn't realize they meant it literally.
They always mean it
I'm so
literally.
sorry.
Well, don't die. Not worth that.
They do say that caffeine absorption is best done. So I figure why not skip a couple steps.
Just put it right in there.
Yeah. Jeez.
Jeez Louise.
Cheese dear, don't you know? Though this year I'm going to be running the Dwarven Axe for sure. But then next door,
The Dwarven Axe?
the Dwarven Axe, to the next door to the Dwarven Axe, I'm doing I'm running the 40k friendly, which is it's like 1500 points. It's got a very limited army build for what you can bring, and it's supposed to be focused on friendly and having fun. But all the missions are Minnesota themed.
Oh, fun.
So last year was the fishing opener, and this year is the state fair.
Ah.
And so I throw on my most stereotypical Minnesotan accent, don't you know? And we're gonna go off to this great Minnesota sweat together, and get yourself some Martha's cookies so that you can enjoy them with your glass of milk. It's unlimited, don't you know? $2. I mean, inflation's a thing because it's $2. I remember when it was 25 cents. I remember when it was 5 cents. You just gotta go for broke. But yeah, just go hog wild into it and. have
Well,
a
you know
blast.
that if you're doing a state fair theme this year, you should do Ren Fair next year. So that means you're actually going to have to learn about the source
Yeah, right.
material.
Yeah. Well, we got hunting opener and you know, getting away to the lake and the cabin visit or whatever like that. We'll
Cabin fever.
cabin fever. Have plenty of good ones. Shoveling the snow, the first snow drops. It'll be fun for future missions. But
Trying to modify the ends of these jackets here.
you can do it.
Well, I know I can do it. I'm doing it right now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. Oh my goodness. They're going ham. I'm almost done cutting everything out.
Woo.
The last two things, I think. Yep. There's some excitement going on.
There is.
My goodness.
And not sharing with us.
I know, right? Haven't come back here once to say hi. Paint with us.
I hope they know that they're more than welcome to come and join.
They are. They are. Apparently they're busy doing work things or something.
Work.
Yeah, right.
We're not that kind of orc.
All work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy.
Adobe? Adobe?
Adobe Acrobat. Wanna.
You did it.
There
Hooray.
we go.
Now you're not missing anything.
No, that's.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna look. Thankfully, these are really big pieces as opposed to the other one that was a really small piece. Nope, we're good.
Nice. How did that came up together last time you were here, right?
Yeah, I finally finished up the assembly on that, and got it done, and then primed it, Zentinel highlighted, and then put it away so that I could work on this. So,
Eventually it will get painted.
soon. Eventually, one day. Maybe.
Eventually. So I was listening yesterday during work. I was listening to Trapped Under Plastic.
Okay. Is that the podcast from
Maniac and John, yeah.
John, yeah.
And they were talking about their bucket list painting things or things in the hobby that they want to do before they move on into the next life.
Into the next one, yeah.
And one of the things they were talking about was they actually do want to host a TendyCon, which is just they want it to be a big painting convention.
Oh, I love it.
And they want to have their like own painting competition, and then the food they're like, yeah, we're gonna bring in food trucks, and they're all just gonna serve tenders, chicken tenders. I'm just like, good on you guys, go for it.
Seriously, I love it.
And I think they want to do it, they really do, but they're a little intimidated because they don't know anybody that has done it before.
Like a con?
Yeah, convention.
See, I wish that they would reach out and talk to Renegade Open, or they have the information to talk to people from like Adepticon too, but a lot of those there's not a lot of just pure painting events because I don't know that the community's that large.
Right.
That's kind of the difficulty, is getting that involved. There's definitely a place for it, but how large it gets, that's a different question entirely. So,
Right.
Because, the Minnesota's got a lot of high-end painters, that's for certain. So a lot of hobbyists and a lot of game companies. But the problem is how do you? A lot of times, historically, the gaming convention, the wargaming convention is the reason for going to the thing, and then the painting competition just kind of comes as part of that event. So you're kind of beholden to the painting or the miniature event on top,
Right.
So trying to split that out can be a little bit difficult because how do you get a draw? So weekend that people have to go to, or and then travel because you're trying to pull people in from across states and things.
Well, and I think that's another big thing is like there are a lot of people in the world that are great painters that you would want to have at a painting convention, like Squidmar, but
Yeah.
he lives all the way out in Sweden, and
Yep.
you get Angel,
Mm-hmm.
and he's all the way in Spain. So it's just like
you get Jose. I haven't been watching his stuff that long. I'm trying to remember. Jose, he's in Spain. Angel Heraldez is in Spain. You know, you get a bunch of these big names, and Ben Comets is in. Let's see, he's U.S. based or British at least, but still, it's like you're getting a lot of international folks, and there's even large painting stuff that happens elsewhere, especially for GW, like that the picture of the Slayer sword winner
oh yeah,
was phenomenal. But what I really dislike is that the US only has it happen once per year, and it feels like the Golden Demon happens all the time in Europe,
right.
and it's pretty easy to get a hold of, you know, going over there, and or when you're over there you can have like several Golden Demons going on. It's like, which one do you want to go to? Every quarter? Every month? Feels like it happens all the time where they're like, here's the monthly, you know, Golden Demons.
Right.
Freaking, I'd love to have that, but I wish that I could talk to Miniac and Ninjon about, you know, trying to buff up the Dwarven Axe as something like that. You know, to embolden that as a concept. But when Miniac was here, he was definitely here for the paint-a-thon for a short while, and it just didn't feel right to talk to him about it during then, or trying to pitch that idea, because
Right.
he's talking to other people. I don't want to, you know.
I liked me being the I know how I act around YouTubers
Mm,
and especially people that I really appreciate and admire. I made sure to tell one of my friends, Kelsey, the other Kelsey,
Kelsey.
about how I normally act, and I'm like, please force me. If I do this, please just force me to just go up there and just talk to them. And I was doing the thing that I said that I would do, and she just was like, he's here for this. Go do the thing.
Yep.
And it's like, but he's talking to somebody else right now, and she's like, just go up there. And I did, and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the struggle of like, I don't want to bother him, but I don't want to miss out on the opportunity as well. And hopefully there will be other opportunities in the future. So.
For sure.
And it's not like the Dwarven Axe is live or die by that, you know. It's all about trying to have realistic expectations of growth and such. So I'm not worried about that, but it's good to know that there's a resource. There's people that care about painting competitions and wanting to do events and such too. So I think that's the more difficult thing, is like, is there a community that wants this? I think the answer is a firm yes.
Well, and as somebody who's been to a con that's been like a fairly new con before too, not saying that this was a con,
Yeah.
but knowing where to host it is a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
The convention that I like to compare to is one called NerdCon, and it was a convention about stories, as a story convention.
Okay.
So they were really trying to drive home that people in general are made up of stories, and this and making and people writing down and creating new stories and sharing and telling.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a really broad and interesting concept, but the problem is that they were hosting it in Minneapolis,
Mm-hmm.
which it's a nice centralized location to around the nation, but it was too broad of a subject
Yeah.
to attract the people that needed to be attracted to that kind of convention.
That's hard. You have to have focus on what you're doing.
Because like you said with painting, it usually comes with the gaming.
Yep.
So it's a gaming convention, so you're more there for the gaming rather than you are for the painting.
Yep. There's some people that will show up just for the painting, and then I'm really excited. Let me tell you what, I'm really excited about people showing up to Renegade for just the Dwarven Axe.
Yes.
That excites me a lot because one, it gets people involved in wargaming, maybe, but it also pulls wargamers into just, hey, there's just a painting component. You can just do the hobby. That's cool too, and that excites me a lot.
I know that that was a discussion that Chris and I had as well. And he's like, well, if you want, I could teach you how to play some of these games. And I'm like, I don't mind learning how to play, but I don't think that this is really the atmosphere I want to learn how to play.
That's fair. I would encourage. I'm hoping that Chris is going to go to the friendly. I don't know if he's going.
We'll
to the
probably
GT or the
walk
friendly.
in and kind of watch some of the stuff.
But I would encourage the one place that I would encourage to play and do is either the Age of Sigmar Monster Mash, the it's not Kings of War, it's Flames of War? Bolt Action,
right.
it's Bolt Action. Bolt Action's Tank Smash Up, whatever, or the 40k Night Joust.
Right, we are planning on doing the Night Joust.
Because that is a throw a model down, look at one sheet of paper, roll some dice. There's zero thought to it. Have some fun. Work together as a team. Backstab each other. Have a good time. There's not a lot of, I got to know all these rules and everyone else's rules and whatever. Plus, historically, Night Jousts and things like that, people are more than willing to help. Be like, oh yeah, roll these dice, roll this many dice. There's no need to know all the rules about everything. You don't have to have this stuff memorized. We're just here to have fun. So,
Let me just say, on a side note,
Oop.
it's really weird having Trent's eyes just like on the street.
peering at you.
It's funny, but a little intimidating as well.
So Trent told me a story. Apparently, Jake and
From State Farm.
Jake and Bert were talking me up as this big, world-class, high-end painter, and Trent was fairly new to painting, and he's like, I need to ask him questions, but he was super intimidated by me to ask questions because he thought I was just huge name, Oh my God, I can't believe that I'm talking to so-and-so, and I'm like, geez, man, I'm so sorry that you got that image.
I feel that way a lot too. I appreciate the gesture, but I am definitely still a person still learning.
Well, see, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect of painting is that you're like, I mean, I'm not that good. And then you look at you look at what's not as high-end painting as you, and then you look at the next level up from you and you're like, I'm in this dead center
Right.
of it. But I'm better than 90% of the people that are just painting models to throw them on the table. But on the other side, you're like, I'm not as good as that Slayer Sword winner.
Right. That was just amazing.
I looked at it and I was jealous of the time that they had to actually paint it. I want to just have the time to be able to do this.
I agree.
It just looked glorious.
I feel like I could probably do that, but
Yeah.
I wonder how many hours he has in that.
Yeah, that's kind of where it is. Although on the hobby Discord, Rob posted apparently an interview with that guy.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited to go and hopefully watch that. I think that even as a quote-unquote professional painter, you often do feel like you're not that good, where you're like, I mean, it's all right, I suppose. Why does anyone listen to me again? I'm trying to remember.
You're always your own worst critic, as you have mentioned before.
Mhm. Oh, yes. I still wonder why people ask me, how do I do these things.
Well, I specifically come to you for night questions.
Yeah, well, I've done a couple 3. Done a couple of them.
And also Renegade stuff. I could go to Jake too about Renegade stuff, but
Well, I do try and point people to the info at Renegade.
I do look at that.
renegade.com.
It's just sometimes it's just nicer to just hop in
know.
and say hi and be like,
Yeah.
hey, I have a quick question.
Hey, so about this thing. Yeah, I totally understand. That's fine. Not that I mind. It's just
I mind when I'm in the middle of Phasmophobia and I'm getting chased by a by a
By a
ghost.
Did you guys give me a little bit of Phasmo? Probably just Alt F4. Just
So-
popped over.
Sometimes I see that you're playing Phasmo and I'm like, he'll see it when he sees it.
Nah, you could ask me. I got 2 screens.
I only have the one.
Oh my god.
Just my good old laptop here.
Mm,
Maybe someday,
one day.
once the Magic Conch decides to be kind to me.
Magic Con.
Should I get a dual screen laptop? No.
Not a dual screen laptop. Just get another screen. Or things can break if you have a dual screen laptop. I'm actually gonna, once the dock comes out for the Steam Deck, I plan on trying to use it as my gaming PC and then streaming everything from it. So, because I built many moons ago, say 6 or 7 years ago, I built a PC. It's the current one that I'm using, and I built it as an ITX form factor, so it's one of the smallest form factors you can build, and still have a nice powerhouse. And I built it with going to LANs and hanging out at friends' houses and like, okay, we're gonna play video games and bringing my computer places and whatnot. So I wanted to have the smallest thing possible to drag around. And now that, you know, game streaming, that was 6, 7 years ago. So like game streaming has jumped up in quality and ability so much where it's like my PC can stay at home as long as I have a decent internet connection.
Right.
You know, well, there you go. I just have to stream it from whatever I'm playing or play it off the deck. So, or you run a really thin, light laptop that focuses on battery life, and then you stream everything.
Right.
You do like NVIDIA, GeForce Now, and you just have games on there. Rent a high-end gaming PC, essentially. Stream it. The future is now. I mean, what video games have you been playing lately?
I haven't been actually, other than Stardew Valley.
Hey man, a good Stardew Valley sesh is good for the soul.
But I've been really wanting to get this commission done. So most of the game time that I usually have has been trying to get these done.
That's fair. Motivation's there and all that kind of jazz, so that makes total sense.
I did, however, this weekend play a little bit of Destiny and some Stardew Valley just to kind of help prevent burnout.
Yeah. Yeah, preventing burnout is definitely one of the most important things you can do as a commission painter, because it will come and bite you.
Well, and work had really gotten me quite burnt out in general too, so I was just I could have actually had it even I could have did 2 hours of overtime on Sunday.
Oof.
And I was just like, you know what, there a lot of the time this past week my body was quite angry at me and very upset. I was like, I want some rest this weekend.
Yep, it's important. It's very, very important.
It's good to listen to your body.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, well, you'll have a little bit more trash on Monday. Again, that's fine.
I'll suffer.
I'll suffer through the trash.
So every single time that you throw trash in a bucket, you always go, "No, your place trash."
Pretty much. I make sure I look at a student too and just give them the eyes.
Never break eye contact. Throw it in.
I usually get upset when students use the recycling bin as also a trash can. And it's like, that's not what it's meant for.
It's not.
So when I grab recycling and I see trash in there, I usually will find the nearest student and just be like, and I lift the bag out, put it in the trash can, and move on. And they kind of probably look at me like, what the heck?
They're ninth graders, man. Middle schoolers.
I'm in high school.
Oh, high school. I'm sorry. See, I grew up. My ninth grade, I was in junior high still.
They so my district, the high school has 8th through 12th.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is really weird.
So wait, there's 2 grades for middle school?
It is 5th, 6th, and 7th, I believe, in the middle school.
Okay, interesting. Wow. Mankus is mad. He goes, if you make me print and prep something with fiddly bits this small again, I'm liable to find your knights and smash them.
Well, we were if he was on the stream, he would have known that we were discussing on upgrading the scale.
Mm-hmm.
So
32mm or 40mm.
75.
Cool. I would love that. That would be awesome. Freaking, but that takes a lot of
Resin, I know.
Resin, so I would love that though. Is the George Washington model, that's 75?
Yes, it is.
So, well, actually, I wonder how much resin it would take. We should pester Mangus and see what he can
Do some experiments.
Mhm. Well, because he's got the slicer, so you could throw it through and see what the size is. But you'd have to have like pre-ordered models
Yeah.
at that point, which I think wouldn't be a bad idea. Now that they got the new website up and running, and like maybe talk about a store or something on there too. Is just have you have to come in and pre-purchase your mini.
Cool mini or not.
Yeah, maybe up the price to like $10 and see how much it is for a print, so that Minkus's time and
Is well
resources
spent.
Is well spent. Because I don't want to burn him out. It's such good work.
That he does. Notice last stream it was so someone mentioned the monthly. I was like, maybe.
Jeez. A little defensive, don't you think?
It's like, look, I'm trying to promote you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Some really good prints, fun models.
Yep. Well, I'm wondering if he's dropping them off.
I'd hope so. Unless they're not printing well. Which is also a possibility.
Well, and even if I don't, they do have a 75mm version, but you can be able to print one of those at once.
How are you people doing in chat?
Speak chatting.
I see that there are 4 people in chat. But no one's chatting.
Minus you and I.
Correct, so that's 2.
Yep. I'm gonna go up front and see if.
By the way, it is 12.
We should probably wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
I know we're having all the fun.
I know, we're talking about lots of different things.
3 peeps. Heckin' peeps.
Let me finish up my bottoms and my cloaks here, and then I'll probably call it good.
Okay. I wonder if I still have the remote going. Do-do-do-do. Hey, look at that! I do. So.
Sick. I
The
know.
power.
I know that my family has. It's Kelsey. Kelsey.
Is it Miss Cotton?
It's Miss Cotton.
Mm-mm. She's just here for magic.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Something about your family.
Oh, my family was talking about what we should have for our Christmas lists, and I'm been debating on what I want to put on it. I want to try to keep it on the cheaper side because there's really not a whole lot I want.
That's fair.
I don't really want more models because I already have plenty.
Oh yeah, that's a struggle for me too.
So I'm thinking about putting a new wet palette on my list.
Hey, the Red Grass Games one.
That's the
Just
one I was
saying.
looking at.
Just saying. So I actually put the God Hands nippers on my list because that's probably the one thing that I'm like, I really want those because they are the best on the market for nips. And because I think that it would be it's a worthwhile purchase, and I'd purchase it without Christmas rolling around, but yeah, keeping it. See, that's the thing. Like you want, I found that in hobby, you want specific things for your hobby, but at the same time, it's like sometimes you can't find them or whatever, and so people try. People try to give you, similar things to what you asked for, and it's not always exactly what you want,
Right.
which is the struggle. But
And I get it.
oh yeah,
The other thing that I'd really like to get is actually so at my work, some of the teachers when COVID was going on, they have one of those. It's a camera, but it comes up and around, and it's only probably about that tall, maybe.
okay,
But it's a top-down camera, so it's like when you're looking through a textbook, you
Yeah.
can read it better.
yeah,
And I know that when the guys here first started streaming, they actually had those.
oh,
I think if I were to start streaming at home, that would be a good step in the right direction. And then have Tuesdays just be streaming here, be like, hey, if you want to check out more painting, what's up?
hey. Well, and there's now the collab cam where you can actually have
Yeah.
the collab cam going on. So
Is
all you
that
have to
on
do is well, it's on Streamlabs. So all you have to do is hit the go button and share the link. Doing good. Just about the end of the stream.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, I ended the stream like an hour ago.
No, you haven't.
We've been watching.
Yeah, we've been.
Been watching.
All right. Well, I think that's about it for wrap up.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
from all of us here at the Forge.
Hi.
You guys
Bye.
doing Kill Team tomorrow?
I don't know. We got a long week this week, so we're
Okay.
gonna try.
Okay.